This debate has been going on for a while, but is it really fair to compare the two?
I don't know.
Wuthering Waves launched in a rough state, bugs, FPS issues, crashes, you name it. Many players thought it wouldn't make it, but after several patches, the game now runs smoothly. Meanwhile, Genshin's launch was much cleaner, no major issues, just a simple yet captivating start in a vibrant fantasy world. You wake up, get wind powers, and boom, you're off on an adventure. That simplicity had me hooked. Pun was intended, by the way. So when both games first released, they gave off completely different vibes. Genshin had this carefree, adventure-like charm, while Wuthering Waves felt heavier and more serious. One of the biggest differences I noticed was the world design. Genshin's world design is bright, open, and welcoming. It feels like a place you want to just get lost in. Wuthering Waves, on the other hand, throws you into a post-apocalyptic setting. The landscapes are darker, more industrial, and sometimes eerie. It gives you that humanity is rebuilding feel, which adds a layer to depth to exploration. Now let's dive into combat. Wuthering Waves? Fast-paced, detailed, and skill-based. You have dodging and parrying, and character swap mechanics as well. It's got a rhythm to it that feels really satisfying. Boss fights actually require effort, kind of like a mix of Dark Souls and Elden Ring, where timing is everything. You can't just spam attacks, you have to learn patterns and react accordingly. Plus, the character swap mechanics allow for some really creative combos. And Genshin? It's more straightforward. Yeah, you have dodging, but elemental combos are the real highlight. The way elements interact, freezing, burning, electrocharging, makes for some cool and visually stunning effects. The elemental reactions make every battle dynamic, and team composition really matters. I think Genshin does better in this aspect, making its combat feel more magical and immersive. Visually, both games have stunning designs, but they take very different approaches. Genshin is bright, colorful, and relaxing. The world is filled with greenery, colorful cities, and stunning skyboxes. It's the type of world that feels like a painting.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect.
Meanwhile, Wuthering Waves go for a darker, post-apocalyptic vibe thing, like Nier Automata, that eerie, mysterious atmosphere. It really puts you in. The lighting, shadows, and environmental storytelling really enhances the experience, making you feel like you're in a world recovering from disaster. One of the biggest differences between Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact is how they approach character designs. In Wuthering Waves, every character feels incredibly unique, from hairstyles, body proportions, to even the way they carry themselves. There's a lot of variety. You can immediately tell that each character has been designed to stand out from the rest, both visually and in gameplay. It feels like every character was crafted with their own personality and individually in win. On the other hand, Genshin Impact has a very consistent design philosophy. The characters all have a cohesive anime aesthetic, which makes the game's world unified. But at the same time, it also means that some designs tend to blend together. Many female characters share similar body types, and you can notice design patterns, like characters from the same regions having similar outfits, for example. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It helps Genshin maintain a strong visual identity, but it does mean that some characters don't feel as distinct as they do in Wuthering Waves. Overall, it comes down to preferences. If you like a more unified and aesthetically pleasing design style, like what Genshin does, but if you do enjoy characters that feel wildly different from each other, Wuthering Waves might be more for you. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about this. One thing Wuthering Waves definitely does better is the gacha system. The standard banner actually lets you pick from different weapons, which gives players more control over their builds. Plus, after a certain number of pulls, you get a free 5-star of your choice. And that's huge. Damn! It makes the game feel more rewarding than Genshin, where you're stuck waiting for your luck to hit. Now let's dive into the exploration. In Wuthering Waves, stamina doesn't drain when you're exploring, only in combat or climbing. That alone makes the game feel much more smoother. And climbing? You can actually sprint up walls instead of awkwardly waiting for your stamina to refill. That makes traversal much more fluid compared to Genshin, where you're constantly limited by stamina mechanics. That said, Genshin's world feels more handcrafted. Every region feels unique and has its own lore, which makes exploration more rewarding. While Wuthering Waves has a great movement mechanics, Genshin's world feels more alive. Narrative-wise, both games have their strengths. Genshin tells the story through a mix of main quests, world quests, and lore hidden in item descriptions. It's a slow burn, with world building that expands over time. The mystery of the Traveler's past and the Archons keeps players engaged. However, after progressing for a while, it may get a little bit repetitive. Wuthering Waves, on the other hand, throws you right into the deep end. The story is more serious, focusing on rebuilding after a catastrophe. The world has a lot of history, and the darker atmosphere adds to the immersion. Both games have their strengths and weaknesses, and honestly, both are worth playing. If you have enough time, you can play both of them, why not? So what's your take? What game do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, show some support by clicking the like button, and subscribe to know when my next video is out. And hope to see you again next time.